Hello and welcome to the third edition of Educating Rosie. And here she is, the main star of the show. And Rosie's been up to lots of exciting stuff. Her education has really come on these last couple of weeks. And yeah, so let's show you all about it. Our biggest win at the moment has been the use of the TRT method. I'm not going to go into great detail here because I do think that you should learn off someone or at least buy the subscription like I did. But basically, I start off just by doing some basic groundwork. Rosie's very pushy, so it might seem like I'm being a bit harsh, but there is no bit in her mouth. So I'm just, making sure she knows she's not allowed to sort of walk all over me. And this actually looked like a winter's morning, but and obviously because I was filming, she's filthy. The reason why I'm looking a little bit weird there is it's the first time I've used my pivot in ages, like since Stormy. So I was just getting used to using that again. So obviously once I've got the stop and go, I'm now just getting her to move her hind legs. Very careful to get her to step under with that inside hind. And then here we are, going the other way. This way's harder for her, but again, just trying to get her to calm and go slowly. And then Rosie, by this stage, this is her third session doing, so she kind of knew what was expected. And actually filming this was much harder than I thought because she knew what I was going to lead up to. So she starts to try and give it to me straight away. So this isn't the best example of like the training leading to drawing to the mountain block, but here we go. She's also lifting her legs because we've been doing lifting leg work. So she's just sort of given me everything she can because she's sort of confused. So here we go. So basically you start off by, pushing their shoulders away from you because you want to get control of that inside hind. Now here she wasn't really understanding. So I thought, right, let's just walk out of this and then we'll just go the other way. And as you can see, going this way, this is exactly what I wanted her to do. So like a leg yield away from me. This manoeuvre was best done against a long straight wall. And this being a working farm, there's always something parked against the wall. So it's not ideal, but it works. And here again, she's just like, I don't really know what you want me to do. So she's like, oh, come on. So I'm just trying to help her here, but she's getting it. She did it so well the other way. I was like, I don't really need to get into you about this. But this is, again, why I think you need to actually watch the videos or get someone to help you. But there you go. There you go. She did some nice steps there. And then when you've got that established, you then move into getting them to walk towards you. And then you want them to bring that inside hind towards you by pushing their head away. And you just start with the whip. She's done all the preamble, which I'm not going to show you here because she just knows now, so it's very difficult to show the horse that knows. But basically you get them to walk towards you with some energy, you turn the head away, and then they naturally bring their quarters towards you, and you reward that with a noise. And the whip is more just a signal that she knows. So wherever I am, she'll know that if I put my arm in the air, that I want her to come towards me. And then the tapping's also just to sort of get the energy. You need to create the energy to make sure that she knows she's got to, move. Otherwise they can get stuck. And at this stage, you only ever ask for a few strides, just so that that they know what to do. We've actually now progressed this into doing travers in hand in the arena. So, it's not just useful for drawing to the mountain block. I also use it in the arena too. So from here, we're going to go over to the mountain block. And at this point, she is so clever that now every time I go near the mountain block, she's going to it because she knows that's what's, expected of her and she's ready for it. So bless her, see, there she goes. She's like, yeah, no, Mum, I'm here. And then, lift the whip, she's there. So I give her a scratch. And this is really good for getting her used to a human being above her. And she loves scratches. So, yeah, she's like, yes. So here I'm going to move her around and just try and get you a better look at her doing it. But she's quite sly. So as soon as you go towards the mountain block, you'll see her just go, oh yeah, I'm just going to move my legs around because I know where you're going, because I'm not thick, mum. So I'm trying to encourage her just to stay over there. And she's like, no, 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 you don't need to ask. I'm quite happy. And I think this is like to show how genuinely happy she is to be doing this sort of work. Like she really understands what the assignment is here. Here I give her a big scratch, and then I get her a little treat, and that's that. For those that watched my last videos, I know that lunging's been a bit of an issue for Rosie, but I'm glad to report, as you can see here, despite there being some amount of chaos going on in the background, Rosie is now lunging actually really quite nicely. This is mostly in part to the time that she spent away at my trainers while I was at the Formula One, and she worked a lot with her in hands, and it was just a general, she just didn't understand what she wanted us to do. So she's done a lot of work on like pushing her away, getting her to stand like different positions of where the whip is to what I mean. So now Rosie's just reading me a bit better and I'm talking to her better, and now we're trotting. Like this is big. I'm so excited about this. And she's, like you see, very workmanlike, very happy, and this is great. This is exactly where I wanted to be right now. We just do little bits of trotting, we do transitions, just generally her learning, not getting fit, but her learning how to be a good horse. And you see here, like no explosions. She has not exploded with this roller on, which is amazing, and also something I don't need her to explode to accept the roller. She's always been happy with it from day one, because I introduced it in a way that she was just really, really chilled about. And now you see, ask her to halt, and she just halts nice and square, and then she gets a big pat. So I also like to sort of mix it up with poles, and this is where my straight line lunging is really, really useful. I will add that in on another video, straight line lunging. So basically you stand as far away from them as possible, and you teach them to sort of walk forward of their own sort of free will. And as you see, so I'm not leading her, but I am guiding her. And this is really good because it teaches them independence. It also helps with their balance. And here Rosie's doing, this is the first time she'd done 4 poles in a row. So she's just working it out, and this is good. Now at this point, like the poles do not need to be perfect by any stretch with the striding. Don't need to worry about that. I had got them strided quite long, so I went back and I thought, I'll just make these a bit shorter. And actually on another session I'll do them not really particularly strided either, just so she learns to sort of move herself around. And this is also quite good, her learning that I'll do stuff while I'm holding her and move poles around and whatnot. And she's just sort of going, oh, what are you doing, mum? So the point of this is mostly the proprioception. So her balance is really quite bad. And she's just here, just learn. She's got to lift her little leggies and just go through it like that. And actually, she's been completely amazing, because she has at no point said no to poles. So although I want to do dressage with her, I want to do bits of everything with her really. So doing this means she can be sort of a well-rounded equine athlete, and also helps with her and getting her body developed for what we're going to do next. So yeah, nice and calm. It's not exciting. Flop, flop, flop. And actually after this I lunged her over a single pole and trot, and again just really workmanlike. So good job, Rosie. Hey, looking like an adult now. As you can see there, like Rosie looks very, very confident hacking now. And what I've been doing is, when I've had time and I thought that traffic would be sort of suitable, we've been just going for little walks out in hand. Because she's bitted, I just feel a little bit more safe about doing it, and it's a good chance to get her all ready for seeing the sights and sounds of what goes on the road before, you know, I am sat on top of her. The first time we went out, we actually met like 4 cars, a tractor with a trailer, and also 2 bikes. The bikes were the ones she was most worried about because she's never seen those before. So being in hand with her was a really, really good way for me to get her nice and confident with me being on the ground and not having to cope with like having a rider on top and panicking. And also gives me a good indication of when we do start riding what I need to be looking out for. So yeah, it's all good, and I do believe that you shouldn't just work horses in the arena 24/7. So I do like to take them out. And this morning's hack was lovely. We came back, and I'll just put a photo here. We did half road, half off road, and again, that's really good for young joints because she's working on a variety of different surfaces. So she, again, with her balance and just getting her used to being out. Because at the end of the day, I'm not going to spend all my time in the arena with her. I do spend most of my time hacking out, and in fact, I teach a lot of like new movements for my dressage out hacking. Medium trot will be done out hacking before I even try it in an arena, and half pass, all of those things. I even taught nickel flying changes out hacking first because I had that oomph and he was going forward. So I do think it's such an important thing to get this right now for her. Over the next week or so, I'll start maybe going out with some friends as well. They'll be ridden, I'll be in hand, just so she gets used to being around other horses too. But in general, she's been really, really good so far. I've also been tidying Rosie up. My friend gave me a lot of grief about the state of her mane, as did a few other people that saw her. So we changed her from this into this. Now, I don't believe in pulling manes anymore. I probably will do a little video on that at some point about why I don't pull manes. So basically, I cut everything, and done well, it looks really nice. And to be fair, she's going to be plaited a lot of the time when she goes out, so it doesn't really matter if her mane looks a little bit harsh. But it was a good learning experience for her, to stand tied up, and I stood on a box, and then I also trimmed like round her ears and her bridle path, and just got used to just doing normal horse stuff. I do make a point of just sometimes grooming her, like doing a session where I just groom her, and so it's not always about being ridden, because at this point that's actually really quite important. Finally, what next? So over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to drop the second line and start long reining Rosie. I'm also going to start putting a saddle on, but we're basically just getting her basic fitness up to a level where she's going to be able to cope with being backed if possible. So she doesn't need to be fit, but at the moment she walks out for half an hour in hand and she is absolutely exhausted, and she needs to be able to walk for a bit more than that when they're breaking her in. So I'm just working on general fitness. She's also growing. She's just changing so much. So I need to really just give her a chance to grow, but get her cemented and all that good stuff that she's been doing so far. And then hopefully, depending on how busy the breaker is, she might be going, I don't know, in the next 6 weeks or so, but it's all on her, because if she's not physically in the right place, I'm not sending her. Mentally, you could get on her tomorrow, but physically, she just needs a bit more time. So, and I want her to be my forever horse. So I'm not going to rush her now, because I only had Stormy a couple of years and it was just continuous rehab. I don't need to be doing that. So we're taking time now. But yeah, next time she'll have a saddle on when you see her.